Yes, livestock is one of the main causes of global warming, so if you're eating farmed meat, you should know you're supporting a remarkably environmentally damaging industry. Just in case, before we start, global warming is an increase in the Earth's average atmospheric temperature that causes corresponding changes in climate and that may result from the greenhouse effect. Now you must be wondering, what does beef have to do with all this? Have you ever wondered the true cost of meat production? Okay, consider the piece of steak on your plate and where it came from before landing on your grocery shelf. First, take into account the amount of land used to rear the cow. Then, factor in all the land, water, and the fertilizer used to grow the grain to feed the cow and the associated pollution that results. Also, cows are ruminants, which means that they create methane gas while they digest their food, which in their case is all day because they don't do anything else. When they poop or fart, they release methane gas. But it gets even worse, because nowadays farmers are feeding cows with corn, which makes them bloat, releasing even more methane gas. And why is livestock worse than fossil fuels? Methane has actually 21 times more climate changing power than CO2. One cow releases 120 kilograms of methane gas per year. Now multiply that for the number of cows. In United States, cows produce 5 million tons of excrement, which is 3 times more than humans. Plus, cow excrement contains nitrous oxide, which has 300 times more global warming power than CO2. Basically, this industry is responsible for 2/3 of nitrous oxide pollution worldwide. I'm not done yet. Add the pollution caused by the transportation of the cows and beef and the deforestation, livestock's impact is huge. They are basically responsible for about 18% of all greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. And now let's talk about land use. The livestock sector currently uses 30% of the surface of the planet. 33% of the arable land is used for feed crops and 26% of the ice-free land is used for grazing. Basically, all this land has been deforested. For example, 70% of the Amazon forest has already been deforested. This causes erosion and overgrazing. To produce 340 grams of beef, it takes 5,000 liters of water. That's equal to multiplying this bottle 1,000 times. Here comes another example. To make 1 pound of beef, it takes 1,800 gallons of water. That's 4 times what it takes for chicken and 10 times what it takes for wheat or cereal crops. Aside from this, the water this industry does not use, it pollutes. All of the cow's manure, the antibiotics, the fertilizers and pesticides run into the rivers and oceans, and this causes eutrophication, dead zones, degradation of coral reefs, and this results to be dangerous to our health. This also encourages the growth of algae, which start taking too much oxygen, space, and sunlight, which ain't good. Actually, in the United States, 50% of their antibiotics are going to livestock instead of people. My intention is not to ask you to become vegan because even though it would be amazing, it's a little bit extreme. But according to the FAO, for the sake of our planet, it's crucial we reduce our meat consumption in half. It's not the cow's fault. I don't want to put a cork on their butts so that they stop farting. It's our fault for demanding ridiculous amounts of meat, and we need to lower it. And I am aware of livestock's global importance. I know it employs 1.3 billion people, that it brings housing to 1 billion people, and that it's 1/3 of our human protein intake. So this is possible because us, the minority that can afford meat, are eating 3 times the protein we need. Just think about this. While we eat 3 times the protein we need, half of the world's population is malnourished. And the grains that are fed to the US livestock could feed 800 million malnourished individuals. The amount of protein we actually need per day is our weight times 0.8 grams. And if you want your metabolism to be on fire, you should eat 90 grams of protein per day. Just 30 grams of protein per meal instead of the 250 or 300 grams you eat in your steak every day. In order to reduce your footprint on the planet, you can trade livestock for chicken, pork, or legumes. Clearly, this isn't the only solution. The farms could use soil conservation methods and new grazing systems. They could also feed the cows with diets that reduce enteric fermentation, as well as having a better manure and biogas management and improving the irrigation system. Global meat production has tripled in the past 3 decades and could double its present level by 2050. This is not sustainable. At this rate, we're going to end with our planet resources. In the United States, one person consumes 2,300 grams of meat per week, while the amount of protein per week that we should eat are 630 grams. One way of reducing your meat consumption is eating beef just one day of the week. The other two you can have chicken, the other two you can have fish, and the other two you can have legumes. Or you can join the Meat Free Monday. Just like they say, one day a week can make a world of difference. Plus, if you're up for this, they will have all kinds of recipes on their webpage and they can even send them to your email. You can even get your school involved. But this isn't the only thing you can do. You can also have urban gardens. You can have them on your wall, on your balcony, on your backyard. It's really easy. You can make seed beds, you can make cultures in rims, you can have plants in tubulars, or even green walls. I have already started. And you? Now you are informed of the choices you have, so you can make better ones to help build a more sustainable and equitable world.